lot of soul.
Hi guys, this is Michelle. Simon and I and the kids are in a car at the moment. You can probably hear lots of very windy noises and car noises and things like that, so I do apologise. We thought we'd better get this this webinar out of the way really quickly. Unfortunately, it won't be like a traditional webinar because we just can't trust the internet where we're camping tonight. So what we've promised to talk to you about today is content and why content is king on your website and why it's a really important part of your growth on the web. Basically, if you're asking what is content, well, it could be anything from stories to articles to images to videos and audio. And of course, as you may well know, original content is best, but not always possible. And as we go through these slides, we will talk a little bit about other ways you can get content and content ideas that aren't just from you, which I'm sure you're having a sigh of relief right this minute, because like us, you're very busy business people and don't have lots and lots of time, although this is really important. So I'm so glad you're here to learn a bit more about how to grow your business online. So yes, content is king. So what's the best content for your business? Well, it's the stuff that's related to your business, of course. I mean, yes, we're off traveling around, but the best content for our business is things like this, like doing this webinar about things to do with growing your business online. Our best content isn't, okay, we are now traveling around Australia with our kids. That's good for another part of our business called Up Sticks and Go, but it's not necessarily great messages for Mission International in this part of our business. So if you have a business that's all about baking cookies, then content for your business that should primarily be around, well, baking cookies. And I'm sure that is of no surprise to most of you. You also need to think a bit about your audience when what kind of content is best. Is this the kind of content that your audience is going to be expecting from you? And if it is, then that's good. That's the right kind of content that you're providing. And giving them methods to give you feedback for that content, again, that's really important. And then you'll know if the content you are providing is on target. If you can hear that noise, it's a little bit of rain now while we're in the car. All right. Mind you, in saying all of that, almost any content is better than none. And as Simon likes to talk about a lot, themed content is even better. Because if your content has a running theme for, say, a month, which is what we've been training a lot of our businesses to do, then you'll have some flow in your business. People will be expecting to hear more about X theme through that month. It'll have a continuity about it. So thinking and trying to come up with some themes. So maybe a theme in, and I know this is a bit blasé, but maybe in spring, your theme might be all about things relating to spring. That, of course, is not going to work for everyone, but depending on your business, it may work for you. For us, the theme for July is content, and that's why we're telling you a little bit more about content and how to get more and better content on the web for your business. So again, thinking about themes for your content, that's really important. Content sources. So where's all this content going to come from? Well, your original content, of course, should be coming from yourself or colleagues in your business, and especially original images, because they're something that nobody else on the web can have. Simon's only said to me recently that, there really isn't that much original thought left. Well, that might be true, but the images that you take, they are original. There is no one else going to take an image exactly like you. So get those smartphones out and start taking some pictures, especially ones that you could be using in the different marketing that you're going to be doing coming up. So the other places that you could be getting content from are other people's things, which is what we alluded to earlier. So you could be basically curating other people's information on the web. That's things like reviews or even just saying whether you think someone's particular product is good or bad, which I know is a review, but even if you agree with a particular view on something, you'll notice if you follow us on any of our Facebook pages or in our Twitter that we will often refer to articles that have come out in, or usually techie magazines, And we might occasionally leave a comment against that as well on what we think about this particular article. That is actually quite a good way for you to start filling up your different streams in your social media. And even if it's something that's really important and relevant to your business, relevant being a really important part of it, you can even add it to your website in the format of a blog, and you could actually write quite a long blog post on somebody else's content. But again, it's filling up your content for you. So of course that also leads into other people who've done some writing, other bloggers, and there's YouTube as well. So I'm assume by now most of you are aware that you can embed any YouTube video into your own blog. It's a very easy thing to do. Even I know how to do it. So that's a great way to be filling up your feeds and filling up your website. It's also, most of you be watching YouTube videos now on Facebook as well. And then of course there's syndicated articles, which are another great source of content, and how you can then repurpose it and use it for your own business online. So what about some content ideas? Now we touched very briefly on theming, and that really is all about content ideas. I would like you to keep in mind all the way through when you're thinking about how to provide content on the web for your business. I really, really want you to think about relevance and whether it's relevant to your audience. Because if it's not, the message will just go right over people's head and it will have been a waste of time. So really think about that. So with that hat on, your content ideas, you could get things from new and exciting events that are happening in your business. Whoops, there was a bump. Or maybe it might be seasonal, like we talked about spring briefly, or maybe something to do with Christmas, all of that kind of thing. That's sort of stuff that people do all the time now. Maybe it's something that's going on in your community, or even if you're sitting at your desk right now, look outside. Is there something going on outside your window? Can you take a picture of it? Can you bring it in some way and make it relevant to things that are going on in your business that would entertain or interest or evoke emotion in your clients and your customers? If so, snap away and write something about it. Google Alerts as well. Many people, I'm actually surprised how many people haven't heard of Google Alerts, but it's a place where you can go, just Google it, Google Alerts, and you can put in there any seed keyword, and Google will send you an email once a week, or as it happens, or once a day, around that particular keyword. So something to do with your business you could plug in there, and then Google will send you this information when other people have talked about it, either in news or blogs. And then you can go and participate in the community, and you could also use that information back in your community that you come across. So it's a great way to stay up to date with things that are happening right now and are really relevant. The other thing, which is very similar, and many of you, if you've been to our workshops, have heard me talk about the feed readers. Now, it's a very techie sounding term, but really all I do is collect a whole bunch of information into a very attractive looking iPad magazine called Feedly, is the one that I use, and all that does is collect lots and lots of information from all over the web based around particular keywords. Things like search engine optimization, I'm really interested in that, or social media. And because for my business they're very relevant terms, and they're very relevant to the people who follow us, then that's a really important industry for me to stay up on top of, to understand really what's current and what's happening. So that's how I do that. And when I go into that particular app, I can just easily send it out to my different social media platforms. The other thing, mind you, some of you may not know that I use Buffer app. So it's BUFFERAPP. So it's Buffer app. And that's how I syndicate all of that information out very quickly across all my different social media. If you want, though, if you find something's particularly relevant and important, you would like to expand upon it in your blog on your website, then all you need to do is take some of that information, referencing where it's come from, including a link back to it, and write an article on your blog all about it. And that's a way you could use it there. So they're just a couple of really simple content ideas. There are literally loads of them. One of the things that we really want you to understand is how important it is to build content on your website, in particular on your blog. Because if you were to just put out one piece of content a week, by the end of the year you would have 52 new pieces of content on your website, and that means 52 new pages. So to Google, your website is growing and expanding and staying up to date, and you become a really relevant place for Google to send your potential customers and clients to. And your website will filter up to the top of the search results, and really that's the main thing that you're all after. Okay, slide 6. One thing we haven't mentioned, but I'm sure most of you understand, is the magic sauce, and that's the plan. Now, we're not going to go into a great deal of detail here. Simon and I ran 2 very successful and oversubscribed workshops back in January and February, teaching people all day. The workshop went all day, just how to plan, and how to plan exactly what we're talking about today, the content. So maybe we'll run another webinar in the next, maybe next month, all about how to plan and how to get that content that you now know that you need to put on, and how to do it in a themed way. So planning is vital, because we've all noticed that if we don't plan, well, it just doesn't happen. So make sure you get your calendar out today or tonight and start your planning. When are you going to put up that next piece of content, and what's it going to look like? Okay, one of the things that you may also not know is that Simon and I have started a Mission Business Coaching Club, and we've got quite a lot of interest and lots of people joining. What we're going to do is have 2 question and answer calls a month. We're going to have at least 1 expert interview a month with an expert in online marketing in one way or another. Plus, we will have a bunch of quick hints and tips that Simon will do, probably in a video format, like how to set up your Buffer app, how to use how to maybe like Google Analytics, all of that kind of stuff. The things that are much easier for you to view on a video, where you can stop and pause. Mostly very, very practical things. And that's going to be $147 a month. However, if you choose to sign up in just the next 2 weeks, you can get it for half price. It'll just be $73.50 for the first month. And you can give it a test run if you like. And then if you choose not to continue with us, that's fine. You can cancel your membership. And there'll be no hard feelings, of course. So that's what we're doing. If you have any questions at all, please let us know. Put some comments in this blog where you see this video. Also, any suggestions you have for how people can get some really good content ideas, that would be great if you could add those to the comments as well, because the more we can help people out and the more a bit of a community that we get developed, the better it is for all of us. We can all work together. All right, so I will just let Simon say goodbye, because I know he's dying to. He's been sitting here very diligently driving. I think we've just arrived in Mount Gambier. Would you like to say goodbye, honey?
Goodbye, everyone.
There you go. And kids, would you like to say goodbye?
Goodbye. Blah, blah, blah.
There you go. All right, over and out for us for now. Sorry again that it wasn't a full-on live webinar, but next time it will be. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, and if you want to go to the Mission Coaching Club, it's at missioninternational.com/business coaching club, with a dash between those 3 words. Bye.